Tonight, people across the country are remembering Barbara Bush. The former First Lady passed away last night at the age of 92.
Earlier this week, news broke that she was refusing further treatment for congestive heart failure. She was one of only two First Ladies who was also the mother of a president. She and President George H.W. Bush were married for 73 years, longer than any other presidential couple. 1,500 people are expected to attend a private service for Mrs. Bush on Saturday. People across the country knew and loved Barbara Bush, including right here in Hampton Roads. 13 News Now reporter Mike Gooding spoke to one man who knew her well. Mike.
That is right, Janet and David. We're talking about former Congressman Bill Whitehurst. He remembers her as a special person who did much for her family and much for our country, and he will miss her.
She was a class act. She's a marvelous person.
Former First Lady Barbara Bush was no stranger to Hampton Roads. In 1990, she was the official ship sponsor of the Newport News-built USS George Washington. And Mrs. Bush came back in 2009 when the Navy commissioned the aircraft carrier named after her husband, the USS George H.W. Bush.
We can mourn her passing, but at the same time pay respect to a very fine lady.
Former 2nd District Congressman and now ODU Kaufman Lecturer in Public Affairs Bill Whitehurst remembers when Barbara Bush came to the MacArthur Memorial in 1990 for the dedication of the Gene MacArthur Research Center.
And I went in and I said, "Mrs. Bush," and she said, "Bill Whitehurst, don't you Mrs. Bush me, it's Barbara and you know it." And it's the way she was. She had no pretense whatsoever.
That same day, former Senator John Warner's aide Susan told Whitehurst a Barbara story.
And she said, when we were coming to land at NAS Norfolk, Barbara Bush turned to Susan and said, "Norfolk, Virginia, that's where Bill and Janie Whitehurst live. He was the first man to tell my husband to run for President of the United States." And I really felt good.
The Navy says that the American flags flying above both the USS George Washington and USS George H.W. Bush are at half-mast in remembrance of the former First Lady. Those flags will remain at half-mast until Mrs. Bush is laid to rest, where they will then be presented to the Bush family. Reporting live, Mike Gooding, 13 News Now.